It sounds wrong, it sounds broken, but we're not responsible. How do I know? We've been through this. It almost costed us the company.
Non-hazmat carrier accidentally picks up a hazmat load. What can happen, what to expect, and how to handle it?
Well, number one problem, I think, is it's not so much about picking up a hazmat load because you got to be like extra special to do that. However,
but sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes it's not listed on that Raycon. It's, and when you pick up your paperwork, somebody put a little X on a hazmat on the second page of that, and then bada bing.
Yes, and especially if you're not hazmat carrier, not hazmat trained driver, how do you even know what the hazmat is supposed to look like? And that's the biggest problem. So a lot of shippers and brokers, we're gonna do some sort of due diligence. So we're not really gonna try to load you off of hazmat and then get their load out of service somewhere in the wait station somewhere in middle America.
Right.
Nobody wants these problems, but this video is more about the commodities that are not hazmat or were like not regulated hazmat, and how quickly we can turn into actually regulated hazmat while in your possession, and how badly you can get screwed. So let's talk about one of the most common examples. You are picking a load of auto parts, and that's batteries. Regardless, empty batteries, acid batteries, recycled batteries, any kind of batteries, that's one of the commodities that we are considered not regulated hazmat, but so you don't have to be hazmat certified. You can hold batteries, that's totally legal, but only if everything is perfect. And where the imperfection comes in, let's say you get 2 batteries fall off the pallet, or we load it in a non-secure way. And how do you know it's non-secure way? You don't, because you're not hazmat certified.
Right.
You're not even supposed to know what a proper loading is.
Yeah, and then a hard break or even just that improper loading changes everything you know about trucking.
Yeah, so one thing that we do, we absolutely deny those loads. We do not hold them under no circumstances. If somebody wants to play stupid games and load up the batteries playing that it's auto parts, we're going to have to unload it and get somebody else to do it and pay us track order not used.
But what if it gets bias and it slips through the cracks, and now you're at a scale house and you got a problem?
And now you're at the scale house. Here's two scenarios. Number one, everything is properly loaded, everything is properly secured. You get a hazmat inspection, which is not gonna be good, especially if you run under your own authority, or that's not gonna be very good for a carrier that you work for. That's not gonna be very good during the audit. And then the second scenario, and that's a horror movie scenario, is let's say we pop the doors to inspect the load, and 2 batteries are laying on the floor with a few drops of whatever liquid is there around them. Could be just condensation, could be a few drops of acid. Nothing is leaking out of the trailer. It's just literally 2 drops of some sort of liquid and 2 batteries on the floor of a trailer. You, my friend, are fucked. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna put you out of service. We're gonna make you to bring in the emergency hazmat crew for a cleanup.
That's not cheap at all.
You're not gonna be able to probably take that load out of there. And imagine all that is sort of on your dime. The broker, the shipper, all the documents can say non-hazmat batteries. It doesn't matter, because soon as it fell off the pallet,
it's hazmat from that point on.
It's a hazmat from that point on. And now you, as a non-hazmat carrier, as a non-hazmat driver, you getting hit for every little thing that the hazmat carrier would get hit. The only difference is we have all the authorizations, all the proper insurances, all the proper training, and you don't. So if you have your own authority, it's near end of your authority. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, because your rating is going to get affected, your insurance.
Yes, all that stuff is going to be very costly. If you're not hazmat carrier and now you need a hazmat cleanup, your insurance may not even pay for it. Because we may try to deny it. I'm not saying we're going to always deny it, but I'm saying we're going to try to deny it because those things are not cheap and you're not paying for a hazmat spills because you're not a hazmat carrier.
So it was never written in the policy.
Absolutely.
Sure. Owner-operator partnership is very real. I got tons of guys who are making $4,000 take-home. Learn how you can do that by giving me a call at 863-342-5171. We are conveniently located in Lakeland, Florida. We are a Florida-based trucking company that is here to provide you resources to be successful. So once again, it's 863-342-5171.
Now, the broker, the shipper, we're gonna give you a lip service. We just want you to somehow maybe deliver this load and move on. At the end of the day, we are not responsible. It sounds wrong, it sounds broken, but we're not responsible. How do I know? We've been through this. It almost costed us the company.
Yeah, so let that experience serve as your own. Guys, you have to be diligent and pay attention. And it's so easy to get complacent. And that's kind of that is probably the majority of what leads us into these situations is complaciveness.
Yeah, so if you even if you're just a driver, and by the way, we're going to do another video about bill of lading and responsibilities, how it's not a joke. But there is no such thing as like, oh, I'm just a driver. We just loaded me with this. No, man, you gotta be diligent. You gotta protect your business. You gotta check all that paperwork. If you see anything about hazmat, you gotta either, like, again, this is not a legal or safety advice. This is business advice. For business purposes, you're the best off saying no. Absolutely cannot do it. Company policy. It depends on what's the company policy at your company.
Yeah, it's better to fight for that truck order not used and get the hell out of there.
But It's best thing to just walk away and never worry about it because it's going to take only once. And by the way, I have a buddy who runs under his own authority.
Okay.
And not too long ago, he called me and started asking those questions. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, man, remember that thing that happened to you 15 years ago? I'm like, yeah, it still fucking hurts.
It's like, it happened to me.
And he's like, man, it just happened to me. And he's like, I thought it's never going to happen to me because, I'm one-man army, so I'm inspecting my own freight. I'm being diligent.
I'm smarter than you.
I'm smarter than you. And it took only... I don't know how many batteries fell on the floor or whatever the case was, or we were not shrink wrapped enough. And now he's in deep shit, dealing with something that we survived 15 years ago. And hopefully he's going to do well. But just to kind of bring it up, it's not as rare as you think because there is a reason why a broker is lying to you saying that it's auto parts when it's batteries. Why not say batteries? Because a lot of carriers, especially larger carriers, because if you only one-man army, look, that guy has been doing that same stuff for the last 20 years and he only got popped once. So as a larger carrier with a bigger number of drivers, we have more joint experience.
Yeah, and also they're probably trying to get it done for cheaper because now they don't have to use a hazmat carrier that can use leverage on that. And I get it, right? How much are you actually saving on something like that? But if you talk about 100 loads a year, it adds up.
Yeah, because again, a lot of times the hazmat freight is not even paying that much. It's not even paying enough to even deal with that. So, but we're still gonna try to talk you into this, and that's one of the red flags also because we've been through this. We know that the only problem is once you picked up that load, once you signed that bill of lading, you picked up a non-hazmat load that turned into hazmat while in your possession, and I didn't know that's a shipper or that's a broker. That sounds cute, but it's not gonna help you, man. It's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. And if you're, again, running your own authority, that may cost you business. That may cost you a lot of money if you're an owner-operator. So just stick to company policy. If you are one of the Voyager's drivers, if you see anything saying hazmat, call safety or ops right away. And we're going to take that crap off that trailer and we're going to call it a day.
Here you go. So if you do hazmat, more power to you. For us non-hazmat guys, leave that to them. All right, guys, be safe out there, drive safe, and keep earning.
Take care.